and we were so glad to see all the faces out last weekend. Turned into quite the party here. Very enjoyable time. A lot of sales went on. So thank you very much for always being there for us, and we try to be there for you. If you notice, I've got more little skulls around the ancient crystal skulls of Aska and Zadka. First thing we do whenever we get skulls in is to get them activated. And then we have one of the anomaly stones here. You know, we think about all these artifacts, and some of these are so far removed from most people that you won't even see them in your lifetime, but we do have a common artifact that's been around for a long time. And I will show you that at this time. And this is called the Shiva Lingam. This particular stone is said to be naturally formed in the Narmada River, where it rolls down the river. And as it rolls down, it knocks off the edges and it causes it to be the shape that it's in. Once a year, that river gets low enough that the people of the area can wade into the river. And I've seen a documentary on this where they're pulling them out from a 1/2 inch up to 6 feet tall or more. And so they come all different sizes. Now, there is an ancient legend that this was a result of a meteoric collision with a mountain there. It's neat when we come into time periods when scientists and movies and a lot of the things that we just attributed to channeling or ancient wisdom are being acknowledged through modern technology, and a lot of it's coming to the forefront. With the Shiva Lingam, if you think about the movie Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, that was the 3 stones that were taken off of the altar. And everything went black, the water stopped running, and it created a lot of pandemonium. But then he retrieved the stones and everything went back to being good again. Well, this stone is actually considered a national treasure of India. And all of those attributes are a variety of the legend of this particular stone. And so they're very highly prized, and they are available here in the United States. Obviously, I just showed you a rather large one. Now I've got the card set out for tonight to see what the week should look like for us. And I have 3 stones. On top of each pile, there is a different stone. The stone is actually working with the energy of the card underneath it. Now, these cards, I didn't know what they were. It's not like when I do the other spread and I don't know what I'm going to turn over next. But I already know what these are, and so I hand select these stones to work with that particular energy as to what we're challenging as far as this week goes. Now, you can also, at any point in time, send in your questions. We have been getting questions in, and we try to answer them. We've got somebody watching to see what your questions come in. Now, this first stone is lepidolite. It does have some lithium in it, and if you think of lithium in any kind of quartz, it's going to be very relaxing, allowing things to happen. It's a stone of acceptance, moving through things. And so this is a great stone to work with this first deck. If you feel drawn to that stone, remember which one you're drawn to, which one's calling you, because there is a direct reflection. On this middle pile, we have a beautiful piece of opopalite, a member of the zeolite family out of India. This is a very high energy stone. It works with the crown chakra, carries a lot of light. And so just by placing this in your aura, you can really bring that light to yourself and bring it to your being and to your inner core. I use this stone a lot when I'm doing healing work because I know it can really smooth things out and bring more light to where there is darkness. And here on the third pile, we have a really unique piece of carnelian. Now, carnelian is going to vibrate and work with the navel chakra. The navel chakra is where we hold the energy of not feeling good enough about ourselves. Sometimes it's the result of somebody saying we weren't good enough at something, a parent trying to push us to move further ahead, thinking we're not doing our best, sibling or a loved one trying to dress us down, making us feel like we're less than. All these things, if we take them to our navel chakra, then it's going to make it difficult for us to be able to manifest things. It's going to make it difficult for us to have that deeper understanding and the I deserve factor. And so this is a good stone for working with the navel chakra and the feeling of I love myself, I deserve good things in my life. So as you look over the three stones, see which one is pulling you, see which one you feel drawn to. I've always said that the stones pick us. When you walk into our shop, don't come in with the preconceived idea that I read in a book, this is a stone that'll work with me. Instead, walk in with an open mind and let that stone that's actually going to be the very best for you call you. It'll flash to you, it'll pull you to it. They always pick us, and it's just a part of our trust and a part of our faith to know that this is true. And I can do complete readings off of a stone just by knowing the stone you picked. I can tell you what's going on in your life most of the time. Okay, so for those of you out there who drew the lepidolite, very nice energy stone. You can actually take a bath with this stone. It's like an esoteric Epsom salt. We have the animal card, the totem of the dove. Dove is a very gentle energy. When the dove comes into your life and you start seeing doves around you, it is a reminder that you're going through change. And the dove softens the energy of any shifts going on in our life, of any change. Most of the time as human beings, we forget the side of change that we would call opportunity. And we usually address change going on with fear, with the unknown, what's going to happen next. And of course the dove buffers that. But when you think about being with the lepidolite teaches us to accept those things and to let them move forward gently, not to be in that resistance that creates chaos in our life. We don't need it. We got enough going on out there to draw our attention without creating things that aren't real. And so just to accept the changes and move through them easily, knowing that everything is for a reason. We're serving higher purpose and we're aligning with that higher energy. And it's becoming more apparent almost every day. If you look at how our lives are moving, there's a constant evolutionary pattern that we're all evolving. Underneath the apopalite is this card of taking a leap of faith. to take a leap of faith, that means you have to move beyond your fear. It means you have to move beyond your doubt, your worry, move beyond your lack. And just like I said, this stone carries a lot of light, the sapapa light, and you can go over those places, which the worry, the doubt, and the fear, all of them weigh on us, and they take up space in our aura. And anybody that can just soften their vision for a minute, look at a person's center, and in the peripheral vision, you can see a little bit of the energy around them. You may not pick it all up at once, but the more you practice it, the more you're going to learn it. And so by doing so, when somebody has a lot of worries, it builds up around them, and you can actually see the shadow. You can see like the heat waves coming off of a road, but they get thicker in certain areas. And by the areas they're in, over the years, I've learned what they're actually telling me the person's thought process is moving towards. So I can tell pretty much what's going on with them by where that energy is heavier. Doesn't serve us to be heavy. It'll only make us tired all the time. It'll only make things drag down. So we want to keep it light. And underneath the carnelian, the stone of feeling good enough about yourself. We have a beautiful card here, the Wise Woman of Wonderland. I said a couple weeks ago, just off of the cuff, that a wise person knows how to keep their secrets, yet a wiser person doesn't have secrets. When you walk in truth, you are walking in wisdom. When you're walking knowing yourself, and not being fooled by the illusion of things around you or the sparkle, the grandeur of those things around you, but just simply being. You are walking with a lot of wisdom, but at the same time, that wisdom can easily lead you to know that you've always been what you've meant to be. And so the stone helps you to use that wisdom wisely. Now in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Jerry Shell back. We're going to have another Saturday event, so it should be a lot of fun coming up. We've got a shipment coming in from Brazil. Should be here tomorrow. So we're going to have a lot of new stuff, a lot of sales going on. The skulls are being activated, the new ones. The ancient skulls produce 18 bands of energy. A contemporary skull only produces 6. It was a scientist in 2007 that discovered that when you put a contemporary skull with the ancient skulls, the contemporary skull will actually take on those other 12 bands of energy. And we know that they were holding them for a couple years, so they do hold that energy. What those other 12 bands are doing, that would be speculation, but we do know that the ancient skulls do have some information or some kind of energy that is not there with the contemporary skulls. So, did we have any questions?
You know what? Actually, yes. Our friend Sue from Chicago has asked what stones are good for anxiety. And I know it's not just Sue who's been asking this, but we've had a ton of people in the store lately who've been asking about stones for anxiety. So
Stones for anxiety. The lepidolite's going to be a good stone sitting right in front of you because it does have the lithium in it. So any of the crystals with lithium in them are going to be good for reducing anxiety. Another stone would be jet. Another stone would be rhodonite. Calcite would come to mind also, as calcite is a stone that brings things into order when they feel like they're out of order. And sometimes that can cause anxiety. So you have a lot of different tools there. Amber is always a calming stone. But one may work better with each person than another. While I'm sitting here saying this stone is for this, this will do that. For each of us, we have a pattern. We have something that we're learning. We have a process that's going on that's most of the time beyond our recognition. But if we walk and just let those stones pick us as we're walking through the place, we're going to find the stone that's actually going to be the very best for us to work with.
We had another question. Janice had just asked, what can you tell her about rose quartz? She seems to be drawn to it lately.
Rose quartz is a great quartz for balancing relationships, but not just that. The loving energy that a rose quartz holds is a very soft vibration. And I have actually seen rose quartz clear out negative energy. I've seen people actually working against other people, and the rose quartz be strong enough to clear that energy. And of course, why would that be? Why would it be so strong and so clear? Think about what is the closest to the Creator. What is the closest to the Creator's heart? And if you can understand that kind of love, then that's a much higher energy than anything that is negative. So it's a great stone. You should feel honored to have that stone wishing to call upon you. This is Shaman Jeff at the Village Mystic, wishing you a wonderful week. Always squeezably soft. Don't forget we have a meditation tomorrow. Like us, subscribe. To share is to care. From Don and I, have a great week. Create it for yourself. Own it. I am out with the flying of the doves, and this is what it sounds like when the doves fly.